Hi everybody, it's Claire back with another art journal video, and again I'm playing with the new Dina Wakley squared stamps this time, and shock horror, I'm still in the craft journal, but I am in the large craft journal this time. Oh, just as an aside, the page on the right hand side, there will be a video going up for that soon. It's using Natalie May Scrapbooking's collage papers. Anyway, back to this one. So I've added a thin layer of clear gesso. It's my go-to to do this now in the craft journal because it makes the paper behave a bit better. And then I have used carnation, and then this is apricot. And now I'm going in with magenta. And this stencil is called, I am pausing because I can't remember what it's called and I'm trying to find it on my list. It's called Connected Dots, and this one is another Dina Wakley stencil. Yeah, spaced dots. Oh my days. I'm sure I will remember the name of that. It's one of my favourite stencils, that one, spaced dots. And then I was using fuchsia through that one, and then I've just added a bit of fuchsia around the edge that was left on my blending tool. And now I'm just going in with a few splatters too. The splatters I feel kind of work like when I do my dots and my mark making, it just breaks up that background a bit more. And then I'm going in with a text stamp. I actually don't know where that stamp is from. But it's just got like a typeface writing on it, and I'm using Arranger Archival ink in Vibrant Fuchsia for that. So then I had some of these images already stamped onto card, so I'm just cutting some of them out. I'm going for 3 because, as you know, odd numbers work well on a page, and I didn't kind of want the images to take over the whole page. Then I've just gone through my scraps box and found this piece of paper where I've done loads of mark making. I've used my own stamps on here as well. And I'm just going to draw around this botanical, which is from the Things That Grow stencil and mask set. I'm just going to cut some of these out so that they've got a little bit of mark making on them when we flip them over, so that I can then add them to my page. I'm sure lots of you will have heard of the technique of creating like a master sheet, and it's such a great way to do collage elements which you can then cut out of the sheet, and actually flipping the sheet over and cutting them out means that you get more of a random pattern on your cutout element. I do also tend to keep the little bits, obviously really teeny tiny bits I don't keep, but some of the other ones, you know, you can cut circles out of them and hearts and all sorts. It's still worth hanging on to. I am becoming known as the hoarder of random bits of paper. When packaging comes, I'm always saying to people, don't throw that away, I want to have a look at it, don't throw it away, let me see. Yeah, I get laughed at about it, but you know, it doesn't matter. I'm comfortable with it, that's okay. So here I'm just kind of auditioning where things are going to go and checking that it's going to work all right. I really didn't want to disappear all of my background because I really liked how these colours work together. And amazing for me, I've managed to leave some of the craft showing through as well, which, as you know, is something that I do find quite tricky to do sometimes. I'm just using an ordinary glue stick. This is a Pritt stick to stick these down. You could just as easily use a matte medium, a gel medium, or PVA glue, anything to stick them in really. And then I'm going to stick these elements on. You can see how they've got really random bits of mark making on because of cutting them out of the wrong side of my sheet, and I really love how these have worked. You could just as easily just kind of gather up all of your stamps that have got different marks on and stamp them on a sheet. Like I say, these were stamps that I've created, and I've got them in a jar next to my desk, and so they were perfect for creating this sheet. Tim Holtz also has a great set of mark making stamps called Media Marks. They are really good and worth getting hold of if you are not so confident making your own marks. I also have a course on my website for mark making too, so you could also go and have a look at that at artjournallove.com if you wanted to gain a bit more confidence with your mark making. Okay, so I'm sticking these in place, and once they're in place, then I am going to go in and do some dots and marks to just kind of ground these botanical elements so they do feel more like they belong on my page. So you'll notice that in some places where I'm doing the dots, the white is disappearing into the page. So that'll be perhaps where the clear gesso didn't quite take properly. But in the places where there is paint or the gesso is, you can see that the white sits on top of that. So as I've said many times, this paper is very absorbent, it's very thirsty. However, it doesn't alter the fact that it's still one of my favourite backgrounds to work on. I still think the small craft journal is my favourite. I think the size of that journal is less intimidating. And it's just lovely. It's just a perfect size for doing little cut-out pages and all sorts of things. But, you know, this journal is a close second. I do have other journals on the go, but I'm afraid they're all feeling a bit left out and lonely because the craft journals are the ones my go-to every time at the moment. So I'm also using a Signo Uniball. I'm just doing some smaller dots and drawing teeny tiny little circles. Just again kind of break up my mark making and make it a little bit more interesting. Okay, so then this is a Tombow marker, and I am just adding a shadow onto these collage elements just to try and help to pop them out of the background a little bit. And you can see that does work quite well there. So then I just add a shadow on the other side as well, which then just draws attention to those a little bit more. Works quite well. And then this is a Jane Davenport Palette Pastels. Lovely for just adding a gentle blush on the cheeks. It is almost like using makeup. It's great. And here I'm just using a cardboard tube that I've saved just to add some circle mark making onto my page. And you'll see that there are going to be 5 of those. And then this is a quote that's from the stamp set, and I think it's Everyone is Welcome. It's the one that's got the church windows on it. And I'm just stamping that onto a little piece of cardstock, cut it out and stick it in place using my fine tip applicator bottle with the Collall glue in it, just so that that's a bit easier to stick where I want it to be. And that is this page finished. So still got so many more ideas with these stamps that I'm playing with at the moment. So stay tuned for even more ideas. I hope you've enjoyed watching me create this page, where I've actually managed to leave some craft space on my page, which is unusual. Yep, so thanks for watching, and I hope to see you back again soon.